Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay? I'll explain everything.
I'm under arrest for robbery?
You are, but let me read your rights real quick, okay? And then I'll explain it all to you. Is that okay? Let me do that real fast? All right, Jeff. Can you read with me? Just read in your head, okay? Before we ask you any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we question you, and have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer and you want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time that you want until you talk to the lawyer. Does that make sense? You've probably heard these before, haven't you? Does that make sense? Do you understand your rights? Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? You understand?
We're getting paid more than you are, so we can sit here for a long time, man.
I just need you to answer me yes or no. Do you understand your rights? Let's get through that question. Do you understand what I read you? Did you comprehend what I read you? Jeff, I'm just here to talk to you and figure out what happened and move you on out of here, at least some of it. So do you understand the rights I read to you?
If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us.
Okay, good cop.
No, usually I'm the prick.
You look like the prick.
Meet Jeff. Jeff is a 6'5" heroin addict who has struggled with addiction for the past 14 years. Weighing just 153 pounds, his life has taken a darker turn as he now faces serious charges of armed robbery. In the state of Georgia, if convicted, he faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years without the possibility of parole, with the maximum being life in prison. Given Jeff's extensive criminal record and history within the legal system, he knows that a guilty verdict would likely mean a sentence far longer than the minimum 10 years.
I am.
Jeff, do you understand your rights? Yes or no? I'm not asking if you want to talk to me at this point. I just want to know, do you understand what I read to you?
So am I under arrest?
Yes, you're under arrest.
Get me back to the cell. I don't talk to you motherfuckers.
Okay, fair enough. You change your mind? You want to talk to this? Or
Yeah.
You want a Coke?
Yeah.
You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
Jeff has become something of a cult figure in the world of interrogation footage. His growing recognition seems to stem more from his unusual appeal than from the severity of his crimes. Pinpointing exactly why people are drawn to him can be difficult, as individual interpretations vary. However, one collective reason might be best explained through a concept familiar in pop culture: the antihero. While the idea of the antihero is timeless, the term itself gained prominence in modern cinema. Over the decades, countless characters have embodied this archetype, but perhaps one of the most classic examples is the protagonist from the 2003 film Bad Santa, a middle-aged man known simply as Willie. Willie is a character who lies, cheats, steals, swears at children, drinks heavily, and is generally unpleasant to everyone he meets. Despite all this, he somehow manages to captivate audiences, much like Jeff does in his interrogation footage. On paper, an antihero seems like an incredibly unlikable person. Yet, for some reason, we find ourselves rooting for them as their story unfolds. Antiheroes are flawed, just like we are. Their moral complexity reflects our own, and as they stumble through life, learning and growing from their mistakes, we're reminded of our own. Perhaps the reason we cheer for their redemption is because, deep down, we're rooting for our own as well. You might wonder about the contrast between antiheroes, who we embrace and relate to, and traditional villains, whom we despise and distance ourselves from. Both are often driven by selfish motivations, yet our emotional responses to them are strikingly different. The reason for this contrast, while not immediately obvious, follows a relatively simple formula. The antihero must possess a glimmer of humanity and a subtle vulnerability. This is what allows us to truly connect with them. It helps us forgive them when they act unethically, and admire them when they show nobility. We can accept their anger, cowardice, and greed, but also celebrate their moments of joy, bravery, and empathy. This balance between their flaws and redeeming qualities is what makes antiheroes compelling and relatable, despite their questionable actions. In Jeff's case, while most of us can't relate to being addicted to heroin for over a decade, we can certainly understand the feeling of deep sadness. Although we may not fully grasp the struggles of addiction, we can empathize with the adversity that comes with it, especially given the enormity of the situation he faces in this moment. How Jeff responds now will, quite literally, shape the course of his entire future. He's at a critical crossroads in life, where one path holds a possibility of hope, while the other guarantees despair. The long-term direction he takes will be determined by the short-term choices he makes here, all while battling the early stages of heroin withdrawal. This intense internal conflict adds a profound layer to his decision-making, making his situation all the more tragic and complex.
I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone or what?
I don't have any. Do you have a medication for it, or a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Because I'm a fucking junkie and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm going to go through withdrawal here in a minute.
Where do you usually get your methadone from?
I don't get it. I get heroin.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time, buddy.
10 years? 15 years?
I hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah, right? I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I don't
not
have
keep
nothing.
up
I
the
don't
act.
talk to the police, man.
I think it's in your best interest to.
How?
Man.
I don't talk to
you're
the
sitting
police.
Here, okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how
I know
it
you
works.
have. I know you have.
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your friend.
You're trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not gonna get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not
nothing.
trying to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside, there are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I say, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't find nothing. What's up?
Let me read this.
No.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it. Let me read it. You heard it earlier already. You've been through the system. You know it. It ain't going to change a thing. You're still sitting here. Warning as to your rights guaranteed by the Miranda decision of the Supreme Court of the United States.
You already read it to me earlier.
I know we did, but I'm going to read it to you again.
Thanks for the coat.
You're welcome. Before we ask any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we question you and have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand the rights I've explained to you?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what happened last night. Plain and simple. Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm a lawyer.
All right. This is what I don't
I
understand.
told you
I know,
this was
but
gonna
this is
happen.
what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed just in the...
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
You didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you've asked for an
I want a
attorney.
lawyer.
So, okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why. I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell.
We
That's
haven't
my
interviewed
home.
you yet.
That's my home.
All right.
Well, you haven't interviewed me yet.
Yeah.
I'm not being interviewed. I'm with a lawyer.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't interviewed you yet. Hang on. Wait right there.
What's that?
Just my phone. All right. I know we did this twice, but I got to do it again every time, okay? Before asking you questions, I got to read your rights. Either right to remain silent, anything you say can or will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we question you, have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, you don't want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer, you still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Do you understand that? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and sign there. Let me take your gift off.
Look, I'm not signing nothing. I don't want to
Okay,
sign
you don't have to sign anything. You understand your rights, though, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need is a verbal yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when's this coke gonna be here? Or is that just a fairy tale?
It's coming. He's getting it right now. He'll be here in about 2 minutes. He has to walk to the soda machine. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I need to know what this DOC or PNP hold is. What's that about?
It's with your parole.
What does that mean?
Basically, they put a parole violation on you.
They put a violation on me? So I had this before? Or what?
No. I got you violated.
You did?
Yeah.
For what?
For armed robbery.
I ain't been charged with armed robbery.
Maybe.
Right?
Well, I'm charged with armed robbery
You
and
are?
possession of a firearm.
You on?
Yeah.
I thought I got PFI on that.
You did. You know what PFI means, right?
Pending further investigation?
That basically what that means is because there's no prosecutor on the weekends, I PFI you. Monday morning, I call the prosecutor, and we write the case, and then we get a warrant for you for armed robbery. It tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Aaron, and I talked to Becky,
Yeah.
got their statements.
Well, they made statements?
Yeah,
What they
their
say?
statements. Basically, I was just talking because when Officer Hawkins arrested you, he told you that you told him that you lived there.
I didn't say I
Or you were
lived
staying
there.
there.
I just said I stayed there that night.
Had you been there during the night?
Yeah.
Did Aaron know you were there?
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. I mean, he might have been asleep, but that's where I was staying that
What
night.
time did you get there?
No. You know what? I'm not answering that question. This is bullshit.
I'm happy to help you out.
You can't help me, man.
Well, I can't. But
Can I have my butter penny, please?
just finish your coat first.
I don't get why I don't.
Well, here's what the deal is. I have enough evidence
Like what?
of your armed robbery, okay? But, if you're saying you didn't do it, you need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You got to, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the physical.
Well, I don't need to. Why should I tell you that? You haven't been helpful to me at all.
Because I don't believe that you got any evidence. Because I didn't do it, so there's no.
Well, here's it. I'll give you one piece of my evidence, okay?
Yeah.
One piece. The phone for 7-Eleven was taken by the suspect, whoever that was, okay? It was taken by the suspect and was thrown in the dumpster behind 7-Eleven, okay? We got DNA off that phone. Right? That's one piece of my evidence. I have a lot of other evidence, okay?
Like what?
There's only a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Name them.
What's that?
Name
Well, why do I need to do that? You haven't helped me out at all. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. We go back and forth. I give you one of my pieces of evidence, and I give me a little something. All right? What time do you get over to Aaron's house?
No, anything I say here can and will be used against me.
Sure, but anything you say here, I can also tell your parole officer that you helped me out.
That doesn't mean dick.
Sure it does.
Well, you're arresting me for robbery tomorrow, so what the fuck does that do?
You help me out, I can help you out in certain
You
ways.
can't tell me that you can help me out. Because all you said is that you're charging me with some bogus-ass armed robbery bullshit.
Okay.
And I don't believe... there's no way. I didn't do it. There's no way.
How drunk were you? Were you drunk?
No, I was pretty sober.
So you're in your right mind. You remember everything about the night, right? So you couldn't have done something not remembered. You couldn't have gone and robbed the place and not remembered?
Fuck, no.
Okay, so you would remember if you robbed the place.
Yeah.
Okay. What about
Is this all being recorded, huh? And written down?
I'm not writing anything down right now.
But they are. Right?
I don't think there's anybody watching it. The guy that brought me the cokes writing reports. You asked me to bring you up here. I was done talking to you. If you want, why don't we just talk about the gun? Let's start there. Okay?
I don't fucking have a gun or own a gun.
Okay. I don't think you do. I know you don't own one. Okay. But I need to know where that gun came from.
I don't have... What the fuck are you talking about?
The gun you were sitting on.
I was sitting on?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Over at Aaron's house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because Aaron says it wasn't his.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like I said, you give me a little, I'll give you a little. Alright? I got a lot more I can tell you about the whole thing. But you got to help me out, too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm willing to go to the prosecutor, I'm willing to go to the parole officer and say, this guy's a good guy, he helped me out.
Hey, you know what?
I've been doing this a long time, man.
I haven't.
I've been doing this a long time.
Me too.
I know. I remember back in 2002, I was on the case. I worked that case as a patrol officer. Okay, I've been doing this a long time. I know you don't want to go back to jail, right? Back to prison.
Well, fuck. It looks like I am if and you're going to charge me with some bogus shit. You guys don't... what do you got, really? That I was at a buddy's house and I happened to come outside because you guys were fucking swarming the area and they
Which door did you come out of?
I came out of the front door. You know what? I'm not saying myself, man. Fucking dog going crazy. You know what? I'm done.
Can you sit down for me?
Huh?
Can you sit down for me? Thanks.
I'm done, man. Fuck this. I'm not even answering. All this shit that I just said is gonna be fucking written in the discovery now, right?
What? You haven't said nothing.
Every little stupid thing that you've asked me, dude, is gonna be in the discovery.
I'm not even going to do discovery.
The prosecutor is.
Okay. So, you halfway know the system, how things work, and you halfway don't. Am I right?
I half-ass know
Yeah.
that the only reason I came up here is to get a fucking Coke.
Okay.
And I got it. But now I want a Butterfinger.
But that's not going to happen for a while.
What, the Butterfinger?
Yeah.
Why not? I need to go to the hospital. I'm coughing up blood.
Okay.
Let's go to the hospital.
I'll let the jailer know you go to the hospital. You still gonna be back here, you know that, right?
Where?
Here in the jail, as soon as you get out of the hospital.
Well,
You're not getting out.
I know. I can't finish it.
You can finish it. Make it quick. I got things to do.
Butterfinger, you promise.
I didn't promise you that. I said we'd see what happens. Alright? Like I said, you haven't helped me out at all. Why should I help you out? I got you a soda. That's good enough.
Jeff was released from custody just under 12 hours later, bringing us to the final and perhaps most important aspect of the antihero, the conclusion. Unfortunately, in Jeff's case, the ending remains unknown. Depending on the source, the story varies. Some paint a picture of redemption, others a cautionary tale. One version claims that Jeff got clean soon after his release and now works in the corporate marketing team at Coca-Cola. Another suggests he was arrested the very next day for the same charge and is currently facing a 15-year sentence in a Georgia prison. According to the Hollywood formula, an antihero's life is so extreme and single-minded that their journey inevitably leads to either salvation or destruction. Their final outcome is always dictated by what they've learned and how they've changed along the way. The paradox here is that we don't need the element of imprisonment to define Jeff's fate. Addiction itself is enough to determine the path. Whether he ends up in prison or not, Jeff will either manage to get clean and rebuild his life, or he won't. He is bound for salvation or ruin, regardless of his circumstances. This uncertain fate ultimately defines Jeff as an antihero. His ending may be a mystery, but in true antihero fashion, it will certainly conform to the archetypal outcome of either redemption or downfall.